Michigan's Marquette Iron Range is a great place to go if you're looking for snow in April. The so-called spring of 2018 was no exception, with plenty of snowpack yet to melt on this 21st of April. At the Tracy mine just before 10 in the morning, we found the LS&I 7 Tilden job behind the 1012 and 1004, grinding uphill with a cut of loaded ore jennies from the Tilden mine. Moments later, they file slowly past the pond at Queens, site of a derailment the previous fall as covered by this channel. A rail broke in the cold under the train, causing a dozen of the ore jennies to pile up here. Thankfully, there were no injuries, and the wreck was cleared within a couple of days. While waiting for the Tilden job to complete their work at Eagle Mills, we ran down to Partridge to catch the CN L549 departing for Escanaba. With just 3 cars from K.I. Sawyer to haul back to Gladstone, it's an easy run for the crew with a former CSX C40-8W rental rack and an NS SD70 ACE for good measure. Back on the chase of the 7 Tilden, we've returned to Queens as they head back to the mine with a train of empty jennies. After the early winter wreck last year, they didn't get a chance to completely surface and line the track before the winter froze them out, and so the kink is still here in April, waiting for the ground to thaw, hopefully before July. Further down the line at Palmer, we catch them a final time as they stroll by the dormant Empire Mine. Idle since August of 2016, there is still hope for the future, as owner Cleveland Cliffs has said they might reopen the mine in a few years to supply their new hot briquetted iron facility currently being constructed in Toledo. Time will tell, but the people of this area would surely like to see the Empire making pellets again. Back at the LS&I's Eagle Mills headquarters, the 7-yard hill was ready for their run down the hill shortly after noon, with another set of Bluebird AC-44 CWs for power. At Forestville, the train is in the middle of the descent down to Marquette, a stiff 1.6% gradient requiring the use of the air brakes in addition to the locomotive dynamic braking. The standard consists of 121 loads, weighs about 12,000 tons, a not insignificant amount of tonnage to control on the hill. At 3 p.m. each afternoon, the next shift of the LS&I comes on duty. At the Tracey mine, the 3 Tilden heads for the mine light power. Running about 20 minutes behind the Tilden job was the 3-yard hill, bringing with them 120 empties for the Tilden mine. Because of the stiff 1.2% northbound ruling grade, trains may run with a full consist of 120 empties heading toward the mine, but only return with 60. That's why one job is light power and the other has a train. It only takes one crew to get a full consist to the mine, but 2 to return it to Eagle Mills. Just over 1 hour later, the Tilden job is the first to return with a cut of loads, which we see from County Road 480 at Queens. Just after 6 p.m., the CN's U-745 arrives in the Iron Range with empty hoppers for loading at the Tilden mine. They've got the same power used on the L549 earlier, the standard arrangement which allows the railroad to run a pair of trains on a single set of power each day. By the time the U-745 was ready to enter the LS&I, the 3 Tilden had dropped their loads at Eagle Mills and was returning to the mine light power, scaring away the deer near Eagle Mills West. With a diverging clear signal at Palmerline Junction, the Tilden job clears the mainline route of the U-745, who was promptly awarded clearance onto Eagle Mills. After leaving their inbound empties at Eagle Mills, the U-745 returns to Partridge to find their loads, left for them earlier by the LS&I 7-waiter job. It's interesting to note the patch job on this one-time Conrail-8, which doesn't even attempt to conceal its former owner. With the springtime sun beginning to set, the U-745 takes off on their return run to Gladstone at last light. Clearing the Partridge yard limits, the engineer will soon have the loaded consist back up to the track speed of 40 miles an hour en route to Gladstone Yard. Thanks for watching this edition of the Thornapple River Rail Series. If you liked it, be sure to leave a thumbs up and subscribe so you won't miss future videos, and leave any questions down in the comments below.